إن الحمد لله نعمده ونستعينه ونستغفره. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Welcome to the first presentation of Hajj 2024 from Hajj Guidance and Planning Team from Atlanta.
So we are going to go through the Hajj registration process. It's very, very important. Please follow through the steps, and we'll go through the package selection, and also we'll give you some hints on how you can go forward with how do you look at the different aspects of the package. So just quickly to go through a little bit of housekeeping on the Hajj guidance and planning team. This is the Hajj guidance and planning team from Atlanta. It's a group of professionals from different fields. We are not associated with any local or Saudi agency, or in fact any travel agency or any Saudi agency, whether it is local, whether it is government or private. We are not associated with anybody. We are just, the goal is to provide information and guidance to the best of our ability and experience based on the Hajj from the past years and the use of the Nusuk basically. We do not assume any liability. This is just a disclaimer we have to put there. We do not assume any liability, financial or otherwise. It is always recommended to rely on official information and support from Nusuk and Ministry of Hajj and Umrah. Our effort is purely for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, for His pleasure and His pleasure only. And if any benefit comes out of our guidance, it's again purely the blessings of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. First of all, want to kind of introduce the Nusuk platform. For all countries that are from the Western Hemisphere, North America, South America, Europe, Australia, New Zealand, the only way you can go for Hajj is through the Nusuk. There is just no two ways about it. I don't want any misunderstanding, miscommunication. If there is anybody out there that is claiming that they can get you a Hajj package from America, okay, or ask you to put any deposit down, do not go with that one. All the Hajj packages, all the payment for the Hajj, all the selection of the Hajj packages from these Western countries has to be done only through the Nusuk platform. No other website. No other website. If anyone asks you to sign up just to kind of be on the mailing list, that's fine. The way we do also, we ask you to be on our mailing list. It's purely to be on the information providing list. That's all it is. The final listing has to be through Nusuk. Okay. Now, there is a way to go for Hajj if you're in America, but that is provided you have dual citizenship with a country that allows packages to be sold to the non-residents. For example, from Pakistan, if you have a dual citizenship, there is an option that you can get a package from Pakistan and travel with that package with that group, but you will not be traveling on a US package. It will be a Pakistan's package or Bangladesh's package. Okay, so all Western countries, just to reiterate, has to register, purchase, and pay for packages through the Nusuk. We are sharing information based on our understanding, as I've said before, from past experience and discussion with different reliable sources. Everything we share is for information only. Please bear that in mind. Nusuk website has also recently, we are seeing that this year in 2024, they are publishing lots of useful information on their website. So as often as possible, visit the website, look it up. They are providing information on service providers, on packages, on the registration process. So there's a lot of good information there. Okay. So the first step in the Nusuk process is the registration. Registration is basically you are creating an account in the Nusuk website. Okay. It is not registering for the Hajj. It is nothing to say that, once you get approved from the registration, it does not mean you're going to get a package. It is basically creating an account. So Nusuk, if you think about it, is basically similar to Amazon.com.
Okay, it is it's basically they put different packages there, etc. So the first step is for you to register. Brother Wasim will go through the registration process. He will explain what are the different aspects. How do you go about registration? So you need to do the registration. There's a website that listed at the bottom there. And then once you do the registration, you need to upload the document, your passport, and your passport photocopy, your picture, passport picture, and the copy of the passport. These are the only two documents that they require, unless you are a citizen of another country and residency is here. Then they require the proof of residency. So these are the only three things that are required: passport, picture of the passport, your picture, and residency if citizenship is from a different country. They are going to assess that information, and then they will either say it's valid, they will send you a successful submission, or they will ask you to make the correction. Rest assured, based on the past experiences, they're not going to just reject you and say, go away, you have to recreate the account. They will give you the chance to correct the information, inshallah. So the feedback on the registration so far, it's still not been available. They are still working through the reviewing process. We are expecting in the next few weeks, they will respond back, inshallah. So our understanding is they're actively looking at the information. So in the next few weeks, you should be able to get this information. If anybody has not registered for an account, immediately do it. Do not be under the assumption the Hajj is about another 3, 4, 5 months away. We have time. You don't have the time. Everything today is being done through the computer, and it's moving very, very fast. It's moving very fast. We expect the packages to be available sometime in February, and immediately after that, they may also go into the booking. When the bookings start based on last year's experience, packages will go like this. So you need to be prepared. You need to register, go through the registration validation process, keep your account ready so that only the registered users, the validated registered users, will be the only ones who will be able to see the packages. Only the ones, again, I want to repeat, the registered and validated account holders would be the only ones that will be able to review the packages and select the packages. So earliest you register, you'll be in much better shape, inshallah. So package review, what the one thing that they are doing different this year from the past years is they are going to make the package information available for a few days, for a few weeks. We don't know exactly for how long, but packages will be available on the Nusuk website for you to review it, browse through it, make selection, get feedback from people, get help from people, etc. You can look through those packages, make some selection, put those packages in what's called a shopping cart. Okay, it's just like, again, an Amazon.com. You go through, you browse through, you look at the reviews, you discuss with different people, you put the item, the product into a shipping cart. But just because it's in the shipping cart does not mean you purchased it, right? Same way here in the Nusuk also, the expectation is that you will go through the packages and then put it into shipping cart. And then second aspect is when you put it into shipping cart, you need to make a tie it to a payment. Okay. Again, I want to go back to Amazon.com. You select the product, you put it into shopping cart, then you go and select how you're going to make the payment. Okay, the same concept here. So what Nusuk is doing is they are saying this year they are creating, basically they're using the digital wallet, e-wallet basically. We don't have full information on which service they are going to use, but they are going to use the digital wallet where once you pick the package, they are going, you need to make the funds available in the e-wallet. So with the shopping cart and e-wallet ready, when the booking starts, the minute that they announce that Monday morning the booking is going to start, it is very important, just like Amazon.com, it's very important to go and say purchase. Because again in Amazon.com, a product, there might be 5 products available, 5 quantity available. The first 5 people will get the product. The 6th person does not get the product. So you want to be in the first 50, first 60, first 100, how many ever amount quantity of these packages are available, you want to be the first one. So that can again happen if you go through this process where you get your registration set up. As soon as the package review is available, go through it, look through it, review it, make some selection, and get your e-wallet funds into the e-wallet as per the shopping cart. Okay, whatever the amount of the shopping cart is, you can put it in here. The advantage of the e-wallet again is you don't have to tie as previous year to a single credit card. You can top the e-wallet with multiple credit cards, multiple bank accounts, however you do it, as long as the e-wallet has the funds appropriate for the shopping cart. That is the important part. Okay. So once you have this ready, the booking comes, you press the button that says, I submit it. I want to buy it now, just like Amazon.com. So if the product is available, if the package is available, then you get booking basically. That means you have booked, you have purchased the package, you have purchased the product. And then you go into Hajj visa and ticketing, which is again through the Nusuk, same Nusuk platform. Everything is done online. Through the Nusuk, you will get the Hajj visa and you will get the ticketing, and then you make your local arrangements, and inshallah, ta'ala, you are on the way to performing the Hajj. Wasim, you want to go ahead and start with your.
Assalamu alaikum. Inshallah, we'll talk about registration process right now. So, as we said earlier, at this point, you're not really paying any money, right? So, if you have intention, if you think that you might go for Hajj, might as well go ahead and register right now. You are not buying a specific package, you're not doing any kind of financial commitment. You want to be in a place where you have your profile verified and ready to go. So if the packages are released and you do want to go, you can make that setup quickly. If you haven't registered yet and then you have to then wait for verification, it can take more time. So that's why we recommend, even if you kind of have an intention, you're not 100% ready yet, go ahead and register so that you don't delay it later when your plans are solidified. So the first thing you will do is prepare documentation. So there are a few documents that are needed in order to register. One is a passport, which is again depending on your citizenship, which country you are a citizen of. You will need a passport and a proof of residence, or if you stay in the same country as your citizenship is, then basically just the passport will suffice. But otherwise, you need a passport, you need a personal photograph, and a proof of residence. So these three documents are the only documents you need to register. There are specific image formats, right? So for those who are not as technically inclined, they might have a little bit of trouble. So we can help you out if you need it. But basically, the format is PNG and JPEG. These are two image formats that is acceptable. And there is very specific dimension requirements. Like it has to be 800 by 400 pixels or 200 by 200 pixels. So if, for example, if you take a picture of your personal photograph with, let's say, an iPhone or an Android, those images will be fairly large. So you will need to edit that image first in order for that image to be useful for Nusuk. So again, there are very specific requirements on file sizes for passport, for photographs. For passport, they just need the main page where your photograph is very clearly visible. And for personal photo, you want it on a white background. Similar to basically, if you were trying to get a passport photo made, that picture that you use to actually submit to a passport, that's the photo you need for personal photo as well. And then proof of residence. So if your residence country, for example, you're in the United States, but you're not, let's say, a citizen of the United States, then you will also need a proof of residence, in which it could be, let's say, green card, it could be your driver license, it could be your work visa, bank statement, some kind of proof that you actually stay here. Because Nusuk is only available for certain countries, not all countries are currently onboarded, right? So let's say, hypothetically speaking, if somebody was visiting from India and they are on business visa, they are on, sorry, visitor visa. So they don't live here. So they cannot use Nusuk to apply for because they are an Indian citizen. So they would need to apply from the local tour operators. So now once you have the images ready, most image software, editor software, if you use, will allow you to change and resize the image. So for example, here we are taking an example of Microsoft Paint. So if you're using Windows, that would be for Paint. So you open a file, you open the image file, and then if you open your passport photograph, for example, on the bottom it will say what is the pixel size. So here, if you see on the bottom, that's the dimensions that it was mentioning, and then it will also mention the file size. So you will need to edit this image, right? Like I said, if it's a scanned copy or if it's something you have taken with your phone, it will usually be larger than what they're allowing. So you will need to change this dimension. So what you will need to do is then click on resize. And again, I've highlighted it here. And then you say select pixels. You want to keep the aspect ratio. So there is an option to keep the aspect ratio, which is here. And then you change the vertical to be 400 pixels. So if you change the vertical to 400 pixels, horizontal will automatically update if you have maintained the aspect ratio. And then click OK. And if it's a personal photograph, you will change it to 200 pixels. Once you do that and click OK, it will update the file size. So like I said, you need to get it to less than 1 megabytes for your passport photograph. If it's still larger, you might need to update it more, make it smaller. For a personal photograph, it's a very small size, only 18 kilobytes. So you might need to do it a couple of times. And if it's still large than the size that they're asking for, you can further resize by percentage and then make it 75, make it 50. Depending on how big that original file was, you might need to try it a few times to get it to the right size. So you want to prepare these three documents, right? Your citizenship, your passport, your proof of residence, and your personal photograph before you basically get started. And then you would go to the registration process, which is to go to Nusuk's website. Now, there are a lot of fake websites with very similar URLs to the official Nusuk website. So you want to be careful about what website you are visiting. It is hajj.nusuk.sa. So you want to be very careful about the spelling. Sometimes there's slightly different letters people have made, and it's actually a fake website intending to get your personal information. So be very careful about the URL.
Remind that even like sometimes the A looks a little bit slightly different. There's a French A. They will replace that and take them to the different website.
That's a good point. Yeah. So what sometimes we'll do is they will use a very similar looking letter from a different language, right? Let's say it's a Russian A. Looks like A, but it's not the same character. So it is allowed to have that in the website. And again, you want to go to the official hajj.nusuk.sa website. Inshallah, we will also upload this video, and once that is available, we'll put that in the description as well. So then check the service countries, like I said. If you are an Indian citizen, you don't reside, for example, in the United States, you are living in India, you are maybe just visiting, so you don't qualify for Nusuk in that scenario. So you want to make sure that the country of your residence is one of the serviced countries. If you go to Nusuk's website, they have a list of countries, right? So depending on your scenario, you may be from Canada, UK, whatever other countries that are there, you will make sure that your residence country is one of the service countries for Nusuk. And there are a bunch of frequently asked questions as well. And inshallah, we'll cover those and we'll inshallah give you a chance to ask questions as well. But if you go to the registration assistance, there are some common questions that they have already answered. Like, is there an age limit, for example? Right? There is a minimum age limit for you to be able to register. You need to be 12 years old at least to be able to go for Hajj through Nusuk. So there are some common questions and answers that Nusuk is already provided. So do review that. And it will talk about what are the age restrictions, mahram requirements, family members, things like that. So once you're ready, you have everything documents all together, you'll go to Nusuk's website, click start registration. When you do that, it will ask you to create an account. So like Brother Farid has been mentioning, it is kind of similar to you buying something online, right? For people who are not as used to working on the computers, you're basically creating an account. So you want to use an email address that you actually have access to, because every time you log in, it is going to send an OTP, and then you will have to use that to log in to your profile. So enter your email address, click your country of residence, and then you have to verify I'm not a robot, create an account. Once the account gets created, it will send an email with a one-time code, and this it will do every single time. So that's why I use an email that you actually have access to, right? When you're registering. So it will send you an OTP. Then it will ask you to create an account, a password. Again, there are very specific requirements. It has to be 8 characters. It has to use numbers, alphabets. So do all that. Select a password that you can remember and meets the requirements of Nusuk. Once you do that, it will then send a message saying that your account has been successfully created. You can then click OK. Now, next thing is it will ask you to upload documents. Like I said, if you are, let's say, a citizen of US and a resident, then it will only ask you to do passport and personal photo. Go ahead, use those images that we already edited, and then click upload. upload those files here. And then what it will do is, if your images were clear, it will automatically scan the information and will populate your name, passport number, but review everything. The review everything is accurate. It does need, if any of your information was not accurate, let's say did not scan it correctly and you had to manually edit something, make sure it matches your passport. If any information doesn't match passport, it will get rejected, the profile, then you'll have to submit that information again. So there have been some reports of people saying that their profile was rejected. Now, a lot of people are currently in verified under verification process. So if you have already done this, you might be waiting, and everybody is in waiting status, just so you know. You consent and confirm accuracy. Fill out all the fields here. There it will ask you contact number, emergency contact details. The ones that have a red asterisk next to it are required fields. Enter your street address. There is two fields here: street address and home address. It doesn't really say what it is expecting between the two. So a lot of people, what they have done is just entered the city and home address, put your zip code, put your house number. It will ask you for occupation details, and then also ask you for arrival details. Now at this time, nobody really knows when you're going to actually go in. So you're going to give an approximate date. Most likely early June is when most packages will be around. So you want to put somewhere around the 1st of June, around 21 days, most packages are like that. Again, this is not something you are promising will happen. Can change. And then depending on your plan, it would be by air, flight number, you'll put as TBD because you don't have that right now. Then again, fill out the background details, fill in information correctly. For example, here it will ask you, do you have relatives residing in the United States, in Saudi Arabia? Have you previously applied for a visa? Was it rejected, accepted? Do you hold other nationalities? So fill all that information correctly. You don't want to get in trouble later on. Again, fill all the information correctly. And then the second screen will ask about some, again, additional background details, fill according to your information. The one key thing here is vaccination. Now, last year they asked for COVID vaccine and meningitis vaccine. This year could be different. It does say, have you taken the required vaccines already here? So you would, if you have taken, let's say, for example, COVID vaccine, you say yes, put COVID vaccine. Meningitis vaccine typically is taken closer to your actual travel date. So again, that could change. So fill in this information correctly. Now, once you have kind of reviewed everything, you have an opportunity to add a family member here. You can add the family member later as well. So this is one question you will kind of need to ask yourself, how you want to do this. Let's say there are two people from the same family going. Do you want to register separately or together? If you do it separately, you might not get the same package. Last year, a lot of packages were coming and then immediately were getting sold out. So if you want to travel together, you want to be able to make a common profile and add a family member so that you can book all the people going together in the same package. And then once it's submitted, you'll get the successfully submitted message, and you'll also get an email. Like I said, there is also it will then say that the profile is under verification. You can go and change. Let's say you submitted something and now you submitted incorrectly. There is an option to edit your profile. You can add your family member later on. But yeah, make sure to add them together if you want to make sure that the packages that you actually travel together.
A couple of questions that keep coming up about registration is about, can we add family members once you have created an account? Yes, you can, provided they have not already sent you a success of the data, like which comes on later on. But even then, you can still reopen it before the packages are released. You can still go add the family members. The only thing is, be cautious when you add a new family member at a later stage. Now there is no problem. You can go ahead and add the family member. But at a later stage, if you add when the packages are released, then your validation process will get delayed and you may not be able to book the package. Yes, brother?
Question. Suppose I add my family member,
Right.
but something happened, emergency. So
Right.
how do can I
I'll come to that.
select the package or before the package? I would why?
You can delete the person from your group at any point in time. Okay, there is no problem with that. Before the package. Okay. Hold the questions until the end, and we will cover everything. Inshallah. Inshallah, we're here. We are here to answer all the questions. So the question keeps coming about adding the family member, or can we go and update the information? Yes, as Brother Wasim said, there is an option to edit the information. Okay, you go, you log back in, you go into profile, your name comes up, and then it shows up the data, and then you can press edit there basically. So there is an option for you to edit the information. Now, passport, very, very important. Passport has to be valid 6 months from the date of the travel. If your passport is expiring 3 months from June, you will get invalid. They will invalidate your account. So please make sure, go immediately, get the passport renewed, however, how much ever extra you have to pay. So take care of that because the time is very, very short right now. 6 months validity is required. Okay. When you take a copy of the passport, when you submit the copy, I, at the bottom of the passport, there are a series of numbers at the bottom of the passport. It's very, very important that is legible because when they do the scanning, they scan that bottom part of it. Okay, they get the numbers and information through that one. So make sure when you upload the document, the bottom portion of the passport, which has a, I think it's a 2-line for the US passport. I don't know about the other passports. You need to make sure that is clearly legible and it is in the passport. Okay. So let's move forward. So now you registered and now you have validated. Now you have a successful account created. Okay, a successful account created, approved by Nusuk as a valid account. Now comes the package review. What we are told to understand is they are going to release the packages, all the information, all the packages at the same time. Last year they were releasing packages every day. They were releasing packages. It was quite a chaos. But as we understand this year, they are going to release all the packages for review so that we don't know how much time we are expecting. At least a week to 10 days of time would be given so that you can review the packages, look through the packages, understand what you want, what you don't want, figure out what meets your requirements, etc. There are two parts into the package. One is the land only portion and then the flight portion. I will cover this in a few minutes. So that's where you need to look through the packages very carefully. The information on the e-wallet, we don't know exactly which e-wallet they will use. We don't know that still, okay? We don't know how they are going to tie it to their account. Most probably what's going to happen is they will tie the digital wallet to their IBAN account. IBAN bank account. Okay, so most probably what's going to happen is you're going to put the IBAN number into your account. You would connect your credit card, bank account, whichever. Credit cards, most probably they'll accept only Visa and MasterCard, or of course you can do your bank account. So you can tie your bank account to their IBAN account is how we are expecting this is going to happen so that you can set this up completely. We have released a document because the question keeps coming up. I mean, not everybody understands what's a digital wallet. In our group chat, we have given a link of a document that explains what is a digital wallet, how do you go about doing it. It has examples of different digital wallets such as Google Pay, Apple Pay, etc., etc. Okay, so go take a look at it. Be prepared. The whole one of the things that, and this is going to be true for the next years, everything is computerized. The Hajj package, selection, payment, everything is computerized. The earlier you're prepared, earlier you understand this one is best for you. So go study to understand what's a digital wallet, inshallah. So the next step is basically package review. Let's kind of go through that one. So few things that you need to understand about a package. One of them is the service provider. Service provider is basically, these are the people from Saudi who build the package, who present it to Ministry of Hajj and Umrah, get the approval from them. They are the ones that book the hotels. They are the ones that book the camp. They are the ones that book the flights. They are the ones that take care of all the background work. So that is the service provider. When you're looking at the package, the other two very important things that you need to look at, three important things, of course, the departure city. Carefully evaluate the departure city. Is the departure city close to where you are?
Do you want to fly from a different location within your country? So this is something that you need to very carefully assess when you're looking through the package. Departure date and return date, very important, because it shows the duration for your vacation, applying for holidays, vacations, etc., etc. So when you're evaluating the packages, you need to look at this departure city, the date for the departure and the return date, and the first city that you're landing in. This is not critical, but it's important, because you may want to first fly into Medina, depending on, it's more of a preferential thing. Okay, so you want to look at the first city. Duration of journey, most of the time the duration of journey is about 10, 14, 21 days. Okay, so you need to look at it and you need to assess to make sure that it meets your requirements. The hotel in Makkah, it's very important that you again evaluate this one, because they have given some zones. We'll show you that one. There is a zone A, B, C, and D. Okay, the zone A is something which is in the close proximity, right in the perimeter of Kaaba. The second one is, of course, which is right outside that one. So in the zone A, the close proximity would be the Clock Tower hotels, Makkah Hotel, or Dar Tawheed. The one behind it, zone B, would be something similar to the Conrad, Hyatt, Hilton Suites, Hilton Convention, Doubletree, etc., etc. Zone C are the ones which are about mile and a half away, such as the Voco, Radisson, La Meridian, etc., which is just a little bit beyond. It's still walking distance to Kaaba. There are shuttles that are come, but it is mile and a half away from Kaaba. Then, of course, zone D is basically in Azizia, which is much further away. It is it is very difficult to walk from Azizia, but there are shuttles there until you get close to the Hajj time. The other thing is the type of the camp. Okay, Al Muassim camp, which is the American and European camp, which is the generally the one most of the packages will include. It's about 4 kilometers, about 3 miles or so from the Jamras. Okay, so this is the American European camp. Major Al Kapsh, which is the VIP camp. It's of course a little bit more expensive, but it is right close to the Jamara, and it's also on the train ride, which will you can use the train to go to the Jamara for Muzdalifah, for Arafat, basically. So it's very convenient from a transportation perspective. The hotel in Medina, of course, you want to look at that also, because when you're there, is it close proximity to Masjid Nabawi, to the sisters area, etc. We'll cover that inshallah in a little bit. Occupancy, again, it's a preferential thing. Do you want double, triple, quad, etc.? You need to look at that one. The meals, most of the meals are included in the package. Generally, it is what they refer to as half board is included, which is breakfast and dinner. In some cases, full board is also in the package, which is the 3 meals: breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So the days of the Hajj, just to be familiar, so that you start planning. We are estimating that June 7th would be the first of Dhul Hijjah, and then once it starts, 6th and 7th of Dhul Hijjah, you do your Umrah around that period of time. 8th Dhul Hijjah, you depart for Mina, and then etc. 9th Dhul Hijjah evening, you Muzdalifah. 10th to 12th, you do the Jamara. Those are the days of the Tashriq and the Eid al-Adha, and then 13th and later you do your Tawaf al-Wida, inshallah. So this is what I was referring to, the zones. If you look at the zones here, this is zone A, which is right in the close proximity of the Kaaba. The second one is the zone B. This is what's referred as Jabal Omar. This is where the Hilton, etc. are. General C is in the general area. General D is your Azizia. This is a picture. Pictorially, you can see this from a Google map. So this is the clock tower and Dar al-Tawheed Makkah Hotel, and then you are behind that would be your Jabal Umar, and then this is your La Meridian, etc. on the Woko side. Azizia is out here, which we said it's about 7 to 8, 8 to 10 miles away, basically. Okay. There's another factor that you should be aware of, which is the package, which is the shifting. There are there are two terms used, commonly used, shifting and non-shifting. Shifting is where you stay at a hotel, which might be closer to Kaaba, but during the days of the Hajj, you'll be moved out of that hotel to either Azizia or to an apartment. Okay. Now there are advantages. One of the advantages, generally it is cheaper. The second advantage is you might be closer to Jamara, so that if you want to come and go back and forth. The disadvantage, of course, is you will have to take all your baggages and move from one place to the other. So there is a little bit of a disadvantage, but this is something again you need to assess when you're making a decision on the package. This is again a pictorial view of the Kaaba so that you get the understanding. This is Haram, and then your clock tower, Makkah Hotel, Dar Tawheed, and then the second tier of the hotels here, Conrad Suites and Jabal Omar hotels here basically. The Voco hotels are back here, Azizia is way out there basically. Again, we went over the camp, the Mina camp, Majar al Kabsh, which is the VIP camp, Al Masim camp, which is the American and European camp. So, looking at it pictorially, so this is the Jamara here. VIP camp is it's a walking distance, like it's less than half a mile almost. Okay, but there is a train ride from a VIP camp to the Jamara. If you are in European camp, it's about approximately about 3.5 miles. It's not a bad walk. It's a fairly easy walk actually, but you should be prepared for it. Okay. Remember, you'll be walking to Jamara 3 days during the Hajj time. So walk back and forth. So you should be prepared for that. Okay. And the pricing difference is significant. This is something that you got to bear in mind. It can be about $2,000 to $5,000 difference depending on different facilities that come with the VIP premium package. Medina, as I said before, okay, this is the map of the Medina. You need to take a look in your package and see where the hotel is located. If you have sisters in your group and you want them to be close proximity, then you want to make sure the package is on the northern side of Masjid al-Nabawi, such as Anwar al-Madina, Intercontinental, Tayyiba Friend, etc. Otherwise, the rest of the other hotels are all around. They are fairly walking. Medina is generally not a challenge from an accommodation perspective. It is Kaaba because of how the hotels are laid out and the large group of people that come there and all the rituals that we are required to do. It is a challenging situation, so you have to be more careful with the hotels in the Mecca area. Okay, so there are what Nusuk is projecting is that they will have two types of packages. Okay, they did last year also, this year also. The first one, which is an all-inclusive package. All-inclusive package as in flight is included, transportation from the airport is included, hotel in Makkah is included, the camp in Mina, Muzdalifah, etc. are included. Okay, that is the all-inclusive, food is included, etc., etc. That is all-inclusive camp. There is a second type category of camp, which is called the Al-Mashair camp, Mashair package. Mashair package does not include the flight, it does not include the transportation from the airport, does not include the hotel, it does not include meals during the outside of the Hajj days. What it does include is it includes a visa, it includes the days of the Hajj, the 5 days of the Hajj, the camp is included, the meals in the camp is of course included, the transportation from a collection point to the camp is included. Okay, the collection point could be much further away from Kaaba, you have to be aware of it. So Mashair package is generally good for people who are familiar with the process in Saudi Arabia, who are familiar with how things work with the transportation, etc. So if you're familiar with it, that's good. But so far, we have not received any information that Mashair packages will be released, but this is again preliminary. They might in fact do that one. So packages, as I said earlier, are in two parts, the land only and the flight. Okay, it is part of the package, it's not separate. Okay, but they will present what we understand. This is again based on our understanding that the package will be presented in two parts. One is the land only package, so that you can go through, look at the hotels, etc., and then a cost for that would be given. Okay, like for example, $12,000 for the land only. And then what we understand, again, this is not officially released by Nusuk or Ministry of Hajj, but this is based on the discussions that we have had with the different sources. So once you pick the package, once you understand that this is what you want, then they will take you to a website which is all built within the Nusuk. Okay, somebody asked the question about the Google Travel booking, etc. So it's not that they are selecting, they have selected one other subscriber. I don't, the website, I don't want to go into that because it's not official yet. But so they are going to bring up similar to the Google Booking.com, etc. So that there you can go and select a flight. Okay, airline flight, of course, a limited flight. From what we understand, is going to be Saudi, Qatar, and Egypt Air. Something very limited number of flights would be available, but you can pick the departure city within the United States. Okay, so again, the land only part we understand is going to be universal across all the Western Hemisphere, all the Nusuk account holders. So the same package would be available in Netherlands, Europe, Canada, America, etc. It's the same package, the land only package. Then you attach the flight to it based on where you are from. Okay, I want to be careful to also emphasize, even though we don't know, we don't expect you to, we don't expect them to allow you to fly from Europe while your residency is in America. We expect them to filter it out to your residency. So within the United States, for example, if you want to fly out of Chicago instead of Washington, this might be the opportunity for you to select the flights. So again, we talked about the half board. Most of them we expect it to be half board. We don't think they will. Most of the packages will not be shifting, but depending on the cost, they might also include the shifting packages also. Okay, we are thinking that looking at the direction that they are going, they might allow you to customize to some extent the packages. For example, they may offer quad, but you might say, no, I don't want quad, I want triple. For a certain additional cost, they might allow it. Again, based on the direction they are going, we are thinking they are going to do this one. Same thing, they might do it with a camp if it's available, again, based on the availability. When packages are released for review, again, as we emphasized earlier, assess very carefully for every detail. Don't assume that you read one and then this makes sense, let's go for it. Assess everything: departure city, duration, accommodation type, shifting, non-shifting, which type of camp, etc. And so once a land package that meets your requirement, put it into the shopping cart. I want to emphasize here again, Nusuk, Ministry of Hajj, has not said that this is how it will work. But based on all the discussions we have had, and based on the fact that they're using the e-wallet, we expect them to follow this shopping cart concept, where you pick your selection, put it into the shopping cart, then you go into the flight section, you make selection, etc. You put it into the shopping cart, and then the next step is for you to top up the e-wallet. Top up the e-wallet, make all the funds available into the e-wallet. There is a bit of a challenge here, which we are still trying to understand. When you put the funds into the e-wallet, what is the refund process in case if you don't get a package and you're unable to go? Our understanding is that they have improved the refund process in case you're unable to get a package. Then you should be able to get the refund pretty quickly. We don't know that for certain. 2 years back, during the Matawaf time, when people were unable to get the package, few of the people that we know got the refund quickly. Will they do the same thing? We don't know that. We just have to wait. Last year, they had immense amount of difficulty getting the refund. So that's where I'm cautioning it. We don't know how this will work. It is possible with the digital wallet, the money does not go to them. It stays in the digital wallet. So the risk might be lower, but we don't know all these things. We have to wait for this. And then once we get this more information, we'll share, inshallah. When the booking window is open, it is very important you to be the first ones to click purchase. Submit the shopping cart. Once you have your digital wallet ready, it is topped up to the appropriate fund, you selected it, shopping cart is ready, your e-wallet is ready. Now you are ready to press the submit. As soon as they announce the booking opening, you need to take that quickly. Okay, this is similar to we have the Black Friday and Thanksgiving, etc. You rush and you get it. You have to be the first ones to get it, basically. Okay, so here are the different categories of packages. Now, different service providers are doing different service, different packages. But generally, the packages would be premium, deluxe, Jabal Umar, which is zone B, etc., and then the standard, and then Azizia. We're just showing you sample, basically. Okay, these prices, these things are not confirmed. This is based on our experience, based on what we have seen, based on some discussions we have had. We are expecting a premium package would start somewhere around $18,000, which is a premium clock tower, maybe VIP camp, five-star hotel next to Masjid Nabi, and of course breakfast, dinner, lunch, possibly, we don't know that. Okay. Then the deluxe package, the hotels within the around the Kaaba, but maybe not the premium hotels such as the Fairmont. This might be hotels such as the Swisstel, Pullman, etc. Okay, or Makkah Hilton. So the second tier of the hotels in the same buildings, possibly. The third package we are expecting is the Jabal Omar packages, hotels being in the Jabal Omar, which is hotels which are right behind Makkah Hotel or a little bit further into the mountain, which are the Hilton Convention, Marriott, DoubleTree, etc., etc. It could be any one of those hotels. The fourth package is the one which I showed earlier in the Zone C, which is about mile and a half from Kaaba, which is still a walking distance. There are shuttles, but again, it is mile and a half. It's not just right across from this thing. These packages, deluxe packages, we are expecting this to be anywhere from $14,000, $15,000, $16,000 onwards. The Jabal Umar packages could be anywhere from $13,000, $14,000, $15,000 and upwards, depending on what different features are added. The standard package, which is in hotels such as the Vokol, the Meridian, etc., we are thinking it would be about $11,000, $12,000, $13,000 basically. The Azizia packages we are expecting, which is 4-star hotels. Generally, the Azizia packages we expect to be in the hotel, but when you read the description, look to make sure it's not in some buildings. Just be prepared if it's in buildings, because the quality is generally lower in the buildings as opposed to 4-star hotels in Azizia. So the cost, we are expecting this to be around about $10,000, $9,000 to $10,000, depending again on the flight and everything else. So this is again, this is where your premium hotels and the deluxe hotels would be. This is where we are expecting the Jabal Omar hotels, and the standard hotels would be in this area. And this is of course the Azizia. So just to give you an idea from here. The team from Atlanta, based on some of the challenges some of our group members had last year, we have started discussing with some service providers to see if we can get certain commitments from them, quality commitments, and depending on how well we can work with them, we might come up with a recommendation of what packages to look at. We are thinking that we are going to concentrate on deluxe Jabal Umar standard package. This is what we want to concentrate on. So once we get some understanding from them, we will probably publish our recommendations. Okay, which package to look into, which package to select, and if everything permits, some of us might even consider going with the group as guides. Again, this is something, it's still in the works, no guarantees. We are here to guide until then, inshallah. So what we do request is please sign up. Please sign up. So that, and in fact, last year we provided guidance to the people while they were performing
the different rituals. Alhamdulillah, we're able to do it. Our plan is, this is the general group we have. So once packages are released, once you get the approvals, we will start separating groups into which hotel, which area, where they are staying, so that people can start exchanging information, and so that we can start getting prepared to guide you, whether remotely or in person there, inshallah. Okay, that's a presentation we have. Questions? Do you have questions that you need answered? Okay, quotas will be there. Okay, this is the reality. What is the quota? We still don't know that. Okay, last year, unfortunately, the quota was very low. Will it be similar to that? We don't know yet. Okay, we don't have any indication of one way or the other. We are hoping it will not be as low as last year for United States as well as for the European countries, inshallah. Wheelchairs will be available. Again, anybody that is wheelchair bound, please make sure there is somebody with you to help you push the wheelchair. The service providers, the guides will not be able to help you with the wheelchair. Please bear this in mind. As a requirement, I'm saying. They will, or a courtesy, if they do it, that's Alhamdulillah. But other than that, please, if you do require a wheelchair, please have somebody with you that is with you to push the wheelchair. Chairs are available in Haram area. Okay, all over the Haram, chairs are available. Okay, last year what we had done was, with some donations, we had purchased a few wheelchairs, and anybody in our group that needed the wheelchair, remotely we were doing this. We made the wheelchairs available for those people. So wheelchairs are generally available. Okay, all right. Any other questions, Wasim?
Brother Farid, can I ask one question, please?
Oh, if the four people are in this thing. Okay, I want to speak from an experience perspective and then I'll answer. Okay. In the past years, they have tried to separate out based on the gender. Okay, even if you pick up quad, I think there are four people. Of course, you can make a request, you can make it this thing. Depending on the guide and the service provider, yes, it can happen. We do believe going forward, they will allow family to stay together as long as your occupancy matches the number of people you have. So yes, highly possible you can stay in the same. Yes, brother. Okay. The question is, if there are multiple people in a family, should is it better to register all of them into a single account or separate them out? And the brother is asking this question based on the experience from last year, where some packages were available single, one person package was available, dual was available, quad was not available. Because of that, all the four people could not go, etc. So there were some challenges last year. So the answer to that is really, what would you like to do? Okay. If four people, if you do a quad, okay, if you do a quad and if you don't get all the four, are you willing to travel? This is an answer that each one of you has to make a decision on. Okay, if you book individually, if you create a separate account, you may not be able to go in the same package. Bear that in mind. Okay, so these are the things that you need to take into consideration. Do you have to travel together? Okay, are you willing to travel separately? Are you willing to be in a separate package? These are the things you have to take into consideration. Because if you do a separate account, there's no guarantee each one of those accounts will be able to get the same package. Okay. On the other hand, if you do four people in a package, depending on how fast the packages move, you may not be able to get the quad package. It is possible, okay, unfortunately, right? So the hope is with this year's process where they are allowing you to review ahead of time, you might be able to make a selection and keep your finger ready to submit. Okay, again, I want to re-emphasize the Hajj process, the Hajj registration package purchasing process is moving heavily online. Okay, it's moving heavily online. The more you are upon it, the more you are ready to make a quick move, you'll be able to get into the package. There are some few people that have approached us saying that, you know, you have to do it for us, you know, help us do pick the packages. It's not going to work. It's not going to work because I might be somewhere else and you might be somewhere else. So it is best that you get familiar with it, take our guidance, we will help you, we'll help you in however way we can to prepare for it, but we cannot pick the package for you. Okay? Any other question here? Sisters, if you have any questions, please feel free to ask. Yes, sister. Walaikum salam. Alhamdulillah.
Now, the first question is, in the shopping cart, can you put in multiple packages, like if I try to purchase it, it's gone, then I can click on the next one like that until I get one?
Okay, the question sister is asking is in the shopping cart, would there be an option? Actually, what sister is asking is, can you create multiple shopping carts? That's what you're asking, right? In case if one shopping cart is not available, second, we don't know the answer to that question, sister. We don't know how they will manage the shopping cart. Again, I want to repeat, they have not used the term shopping cart, okay, anywhere so far. But what they have said is we'll release the packages for you to review it, keep your digital wallet ready when the booking starts. By those terminologies, we are making the assumption that that means there is a shopping cart. Will they allow multiple shopping carts? We don't know that, but that's definitely a good thing if they can do that. Okay, second question.
I'm not familiar with the digital wallets.
Yes.
I'm gonna read and catch up on it. But does that mean the money, the physical money will be in the wallet? You know, because with the banks, even if you put like Google Pay, it's attached to your credit card. And with these kinds of money, there is like security. You know, take out this much, their security blocks on very large amounts that you normally don't spend.
Yeah. The question the sister is asking is with the digital wallet, will the funds get transferred somewhere? That's the question basically, right? So will the funds get transferred? We still don't know how they are going to process the digital wallet, okay? Uh, our assumption is they are going to want those funds attached in the digital wallet, like in the digital wallet, so that they are not waiting for the credit cards to approve, etc. Okay. Now, again, this is what we are thinking will happen. Okay, we gotta wait until they release more information on the digital wallet. That's why there is a little bit of concern we have over the digital wallet. If the funds are sitting there, if it goes away, how is the refund process, right? But if it's sitting in your digital wallet and not goes into their account, which is what I think they are going to do, okay, I'm assuming it will be safer, okay? But again, we still have to wait. Okay, sister, did I answer your question? We still have to wait. Yes, brother.
So if I take a Masjid package
Yes.
and then join with India too, is it allowed?
Okay, the brother is asking the question, if you take the Al-Mashar package and then you join a group from India, I see no reason why you cannot, because all they are saying is we are going to give you visa and we'll give you the camp. Do whatever you want beyond that is up to you. You can make your own arrangements for hotel. Like for example, one of the brother from here, he went through the Al-Mashar package. He bought his own flight. He made his own hotel reservations. One thing I'm going to request everybody that is considering Al Mashar package, please do not land in Saudi Arabia and then think you can find accommodation. Last year, a few people did it, and we had to struggle finding accommodation for them. We had to find
room for them to stay. Especially they went with their wives, we had to make arrangements for them to stay. So please do not do that. So if you are going with Al-Mashar package, go with a clear understanding that you need to have accommodations ready ahead of time. Okay? Yeah.
If somebody has a share package, you have visa for North American camp, you might not have.
Yeah. I mean, you can do that. Okay, Al-Mashar, the good point. Okay, Al-Mashar package again is giving you visa and the camp location, right? The camp is the American European camp or VIP pack if they offer Al-Mashar VIP, the VIP camp, right? But if you individually want to go stay somewhere, there's nothing stopping you. Okay. So Mina camp, you have to stay within the same camp that is allocated to you. But if you want to join them in their hotels, etc., it's up to you. It's up to you. Yes, sister. 1 minute, brother. Yes, sister. Let me quickly correct it. When I said land only, it is attached. It's just they are allowing you to pick the land only and then pick the flight. I did not say they will give you only land only. I did not say that. Our understanding, the question the sister is asking is, when you are picking the flights, can you pick a flight which is outside the country? Okay. Right. 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 So the question again is, can you take flights which are outside of the United States, basically, right? Our understanding is they are going to filter the flights to your country of residence. Okay, that's our understanding. Okay, Nusuk has not said it. Ministry of Hajj has not said it. So our understanding is they are going to filter it to the country. Packages are universal across, right? But we think they will. The big challenge last year that we had was the packages were tied to a country, and that was causing lots of problems. So this year we are expecting that the packages will be universal, flights will be country specific. Okay. Somebody here asked the question. Yes, brother. The 8-year visa you have is to allow you to visit Saudi Arabia anytime outside of the Hajj period. Hajj period, you have to have a Hajj visa. Yes, brother.
I want to ask, like, if you choose the double, so it's gonna be only in the hotel. What about in the Mina? I mean, how far your wife gonna stay? And
Okay. The brother is asking the questions if your occupancy is double or triple, whatever, however it is, for example. When you go to the Mina camp, how is that going to be? The Mina camp is based on the gender. It's a big tent basically. Okay, big hall you can think about it. Okay, so it's gender based. So generally, the sister's tent would not be too far away. It's not going to be a different campground. Okay, it might be like 3 4 5 tents away. You will be able to meet them, you will be able to see them, but it is going to be gender based, it will be separate.
my second question is, like, for example, our flight is from Chicago, New York. What about the local flight from here? It is covered in the.
No, it is not. Okay, the brother is asking the question if the local flight is included in the flight arrangement. Okay, I want to be a little bit careful in answering that question because we don't know how the flight, because they are going into that flight section, remember? We don't know if they will end up including, yeah, you can fly from Atlanta and then connect in Chicago. We don't know that. But based on the past experience, they have, okay, actually, I can answer the question. They have certain departure cities. Anything to the departure cities is your responsibility outside of the package. Okay, good question you brought up. Our recommendation is that you do not fly to the departure city a few hours before. Please don't do that. Okay, do not take the risk. This is a major journey you're taking. Preferably fly the night before. Take it easy, spend the night in the hotel so that you're relaxed for your journey. In the last few years, we have seen cases where the flight from your location to the departure city got cancelled. People had to struggle with it. Yes, yes. Wow. Okay, we don't know how the Mashar packages will be structured. Okay, so that's why I want to be careful in telling you that we don't know much about the Mashar package this year. But last year it was about $3,500 for the Mashar package. Okay, will it be the same? We don't know. Will they offer this year? We don't know. Okay. Yes. Any other questions here, Brother Wasim? Any other questions on the chat? Any other questions on the chat? Okay. Any other questions here? Yes, brother. Yes, brother. We are going to take these two questions. Any questions on the sister side? I want to give the sister. Anything else from the sister side? No? Okay. We are going to take these two questions and then we are going to stop. Okay, the question brother is asking is that he had registered last year into Nusuk. Does he need to create a new account? This year is a brand new system. Okay, so whatever account you created last year is not relevant anymore. You have to create a new registration this year. Okay. Any other questions? I think we're done. Jazakallah khair. We pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that you do get the opportunity to perform Hajj. It's a beautiful experience. If anybody has not done it, please make an attempt. I understand the challenges. We totally understand the challenges, but do not let the challenges and all the other things that are going on there to discourage you from performing Hajj. Performing Hajj is from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Intention is yours. Whether Allah accepts you or not is purely up to Him. But make an intention and do everything possible to go and then ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to accept you. Jazakallah khair again. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi.